And I'm looking around the room. Some people I know, some people I don't know. Those who I don't know, nice to meet you. Real pleasure and honor to speak to you this morning. Those of you I know, nice to see you again. This is a share that I enjoy giving because I believe very much in paradigm shifts. I believe very much in seeing things from a new perspective. And I always find when it comes to Chad Gadya is this kind of sort of epic moment because like we're all waiting to get to Chad Gadya. It's the moment, kind of the end of the Seder. Now I don't know what Seder nights are like in your houses. Some people Chad Gadya could be kind of early in the evening. Some people can get there by 11:30. Normally we get there around 3 a.m. So I get my 20 now. Whoever comes to our Seder is invited to our Seder nights.
And 4 glasses of wine.
Yeah, it's normally like 3 a.m. that we get to that Chad Gadya moment where you kind of are culminating the whole Seder experience. And some people don't even get to Chad Gadya. You know, some people, they're still saying Chad Gadya many years later. They're trying to get to that Chad Gadya moment, that moment where they can sing that song. But everyone's familiar with it, right? Because we have the songs from Pesach. Manishtana, we have the 4 sons, we have Die, you know. Die-in is a great word, song by the way, because you know what die means. What does die mean, everyone? Die? Die means enough, stop. It also means to die in English. It's kind of funny when we were flying, when my kids were young, my little, big kids now, really. When my kids were young, we used to fly to Australia to visit my wife's family. And you can imagine these little kids like, Sarah and Sophia, now they're 18 and 19, but they'd kind of be these little Israeli kids that were speaking Israeli. And I'll never forget a moment we were on like one of the airplanes, or we're in Hong Kong airport or something, and my kids were playing with each other, and they was like, die, and all these things. Children, die, must speak, die. Okay, but Die, we like that song. Any other top 10 and 10? Everyone's got their favorite songs they love, right? Chad Gadya is definitely up there. But I want to share with you today something that I think is actually really significant because it goes down to the heart of what Seder night is all about. I spoke yesterday here in the shul about this actually, about how sometimes we can go through moments. We can go through Chagim, we can go through Rosh Hashanah, we can go through Yom Kippur, we can go through Hanukkah, and it's fantastic, and you eat the donuts, and you light the candles, and it's geschmack, brilliant. We sing some songs, and then you've missed what the whole purpose of Hanukkah is. You can go through Purim, and you can drink, and you can have a laugh, but then you've missed what Purim is all about. And seriously speaking, you can go through a Seder night, and you can completely miss what the purpose of Seder night is all about. So if I would ask you now, lines are open, calls are at a local rate. What is the purpose of Seder night? What's the whole purpose of Seder night? Again, lines are open. Don't be afraid to call. Anyone who wants to go? Jenny on line 3, welcome to the show. Long time listener, first time to call.
Like to remember.
To remember, yeah, exactly. It's one of the things we're taught. It's a mitzvah in the Torah. It's a positive Torah-obligated mitzvah to remind ourselves of what happened long ago. So that's definitely one on Jenny. You're in the lead. You're on the leaderboard up there. So remember. Anyone else want to have a go? What's the purpose? What is it you think Hashem wants us to leave Seder night with? Okay, you're going to have a table full of crumbs, and there'll be a few spillages. Normally, there's someone who knocks the wine, normally in the beginning, and it's like, there's wine everywhere, or grape juice everywhere. But what do you want to leave Seder night? Yes?
We're telling the story of what happened in Egypt.
Yeah, again, retelling the story, which is, again, what Jenny is saying, and it's true, and I can't deny that. That is one of the major parts of the whole of Seder night. We're told every single year, you have to tell the story. We know the story already. Yes, you know the story already, but we need to entrench it. It needs to become real. We need to add another chain to the link that goes back, as we said on Wednesday night, goes back thousands of years. You're adding your own link in that chain. Very good. Anyone else? We had 2 in the front. Yes. Ladies first.
A feeling of gratitude and humility.
Hey, beautiful. Gratitude and humility. Unpack for me. Gratitude.
Grateful that we're not slaves anymore.
Okay.
I think humility because I think that us being slaves gave us the humility we needed to accept the Torah. So I think that's like a prerequisite of us being Jews.
Stunning. Beautiful idea. The gratitude, that's a huge one that people overlook oftentimes. That's a night of saying thank you to Hashem. And the idea of humility, which is symbolized through the matzah. Beautiful. Through the matzah that we eat, which is the matzah is the bread of humility, right? Where instead of having I spoke about this last year, I think, about that, instead of having a big puffed up focaccia or a big pastry, which is big and puffed up, you go back to the very simple, basic matzah, which is the bread of humility. Excellent. Yes, sir.
Honestly, gratitude was going to be mine. So
Okay, that's good.
Well.
I'm grateful that you had the humility to say that you were going to say it.
Good.
Oh, that was it. Okay,
That's
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So what everyone said is actually true, and I'm gonna add another layer to it. Okay, I'm gonna add another layer to it. You see, it's an interesting thing, and I'm speaking now very much about what's going on right now in the world. Okay, like I said this yesterday in shul, and I'll say it again. It's a very strange thing we're living through. If I were to tell you 4 years ago, that like Israel has ballistic missiles being fired at it, where 40 people were injured last night in Dimona, another 80 in Arad. And when you see the images of the missiles falling, it's just like these huge explosions. And it's happening from the north and from the east. Israel's under attack right now. And yet, weirdly enough, we kind of going through it like a normal day. But if it was 5 years ago, imagine what it would be like. We would be having prayer gatherings. We'd all be saying Tehillim non-stop. We'd all be having WhatsApp groups to pray. We'd all be kind of meeting up in Trafalgar Square to fly the flags. We'd all be taking on things to help the people in Israel. But yet, like, there is a war going on right now. People are in serious danger. And yet we seem to just, weirdly enough, because of the fatigue of 2.5 years of war, we're kind of just like taking it in our stride. There's people like literally under attack right now, brothers and sisters in Israel. And there's a wider question, which is, now Hashem, how can you make these things happen? Again, the question I get asked so many times, like, Hashem, how is it you let bad things happen to good people? Why is there suffering in the world? Why is there war in the world? Why are there so many unanswered questions in the world? There's so many unanswered questions. Hashem, I don't know your ways. I don't understand what you're doing. I don't understand why you do it this way. Just make a world which is simple, and make a world where there's peace, and make a world where you get on with each other, make a world without poverty, make a world without war, make a world where everyone's got jobs and everyone's got families and everyone's happy and everyone's doing what they want to do. Hashem, why do you make a world like this where there's so many questions, there's so many issues, so many problems? And if you're a sensitive person, at some point in your life you've been thinking like that, you've had those thoughts to yourself. If you're a sensitive enough person, you ask why. You're asking why Hashem? Why do these things happen? Why do we have to be enslaved? Why do we have to go to Egypt to be enslaved? Why do you have to go through that darkness? Why do we have to go through so many difficulties? Why in my personal life do I have to go through so many challenges? Why can't it just be easy, Hashem? Why can't you make my life simple? Why can't things just be just like the way I want them to be, just step by step? It would make my life so much easier. Why is there so much challenge in the world? And this actually goes to the crux of it all, is that we look at the world, and if you lack something called emunah, if you lack that belief, if you lack something called emunah, then yes, the world is a very often scary place, and it's an anxious, filling place. When we lack emunah, when we don't have emunah, because this is what I wanted to share with. This is the point I wanted to bring out. Is that the Hasidic masters tell us that the whole purpose of Seder night is that you're meant to come out of that evening when you finish. When you leave the table, the crumbs and the wine and all that stuff, and you're really tired, you come out of that evening, you walk out, and you've entrenched a sense of emunah in your soul, in your heart, the understanding that God exists. Hashem is a reality. Hashem is a reality. And even more than that, I don't understand everything Hashem does, but it's okay. I'm not meant to understand Hashem. I'm not meant to understand every aspect of your move. I don't know your moves. I don't understand why you do what you do, but I can live with that because I trust you. I trust that you know Hashem, that you know what you're doing. I trust that you've got it all under control. I trust that you've got a plan for everything in the world. I trust and put my trust completely in you. That's what is called emunah. That's the whole idea, by the way, the whole concept of what we're trying to relive during the whole Seder night. And there's a great rabbi called the Ramban, Nachmanides. He says, why are we obsessed with Egypt? We're obsessed, think about it, Chevra. We're obsessed with the story of leaving Egypt. When do we talk about Yetziat Mitzrayim? Give me 3 times in the week when we talk about leaving Egypt. Anyone? When might we, yeah? On Shabbat, exactly. When? Yeah, exactly. Sorry, in the Shema, right? In the Shema, exactly. The last paragraph of the Shema. Every single day, twice a day, we mention leaving Egypt. When else do we mention leaving Egypt? Kiddush, every single Friday night we mention leaving Egypt. In all the prayers on Shabbat we mention leaving Egypt. If you went to fill in, it talks about leaving Egypt. Your tzitzis is all about leaving Egypt. We're obsessed. We're a nation obsessed with this, like, get over it already. Like, we left Egypt. Why is it we're always talking about this event? We're obsessed with this event. So Nachmanides, the Ramban, says to us, the reason why we're obsessed with Mitzrayim, we get to Mitzrayim, is because there are people in the world who deny the existence of Hashem. And by the way, maybe you have questions, and it's okay to have questions, and we should have questions. And it's a very healthy thing to be able to question and ask. There's an amazing episode in Tanakh, the Navi, he was a shofet called Gidon. Gidon, you may have heard of Gideon, Gidon. When Hashem appears to him, he said, it was Seder night. And Gidon turns to Hashem and says, Hashem, what happened to all the miracles? What happened to all the things you've done for us? Where have you gone? I don't understand. Where are you? He's a shofet, he's a judge. And he asks Hashem, where are you? So we can have the questions, but Ramban says, Nachmanides says, that the reason why Hashem did all the events of Mitzrayim, of leaving Mitzrayim, was that to make sure that if anyone denies God or says that God exists, but is limited in his power, can't really do anything, he can watch and he can't see, once upon a time, for one moment, for one time only, Hashem stepped into the world, changed nature, made abundantly clear that he exists. He told his prophet Moshe to tell everyone what was going to happen first. It wasn't like a retroactive thing saying, oh, yesterday, guys, did you see how yesterday all the frogs arrived? Wow. It's like, no, Moshe came first, said frogs will come, and they came. Moshe said these things are going to happen, and they happened. And then we left Egypt, leaving it in smoldering ruins. And the Ramban says this was proof. One time Hashem came out, so to speak, from behind the engine room, from behind the computer programming desk. Hashem popped out and said, I exist, I'm here. I watch what's happening, I reward the good, I punish the bad, I'm here. Then he disappeared back again behind the curtain. I said, from now on, for all your generations, once a year on Seder night, you have to remind yourself of this fact that I exist, I exist, I exist, I exist. But again, we got the questions, we have our questions. And for many people, they get paralyzed by the questions. I've met many people over the years who have those questions, who worry, like concerned, like how can bad things happen? So I want to share this. This is not my concept. This is from a great rabbi called the Rogachover, and it's brought down by the Khatam Sofer as well. Who was a great rabbi from Hungary, and he says the following thing. So bear with me, guys. We're gonna have to think a little bit. It is early in the morning still. I haven't had a coffee yet. Chad Gadya. Everyone's familiar with the story? Chad Gadya. Chad Gadya. Zabena babi chezuzei. Okay, fine. It's going to be like that. Okay. So we have a goat. Okay, the goats. Now this is the way that the Khatam Sofer and the Rogachover explain it. So bear with me. Hands up from Jenny. Welcome to the show. Chad Gadya is I believe it must be in the time of the Talmud. I'm not entirely sure who actually penned it, but there's so much deeper significance to this song. Yeah, there's loads of layers to Chad Gadya. She's by that point also quiet. You know, get another kid like Chad Gadya is like shh, quiet, go to bed. But there's so much. Take your time to read it. Yeah.
But I mean, like the Haggadah and all of that. Like,
yeah, it was written in the time of the Mishnah.
By who?
By rabbis, by people with great divine wisdom. Okay. Penned it down. Yeah. So are you guys with me? Here we go. Ready? The goat. I'm going to ask you a question now. Don't get too moralistic. It's not meant to be that deep, but you'll get it. Okay. The goat is just there. Is the goat doing anything wrong?
No.
As far as we know, the goat's done nothing wrong. The goat is just basically existing. It's like chewing some grass, maybe, whatever, but it does. Goats just exists. So the first act of aggression in the whole story of Chad Gadya is from the... Help me out, guys. Come on. Is the cat. Because the cat bites the goat. Yes? Yeah, remember this? Come on, Cameron, please, yeah? Cat bites the goat. So goat is good, yes? Goat good, cat bad. Nachon, am I right here? The cat does something wrong. The cat is aggressive and bites the goat. So therefore, if you follow the chain now, by the dog getting retribution against the cat, he's punishing the cat that did something wrong. Is the dog good? Yes, the dog's good because the dog has gone ahead and he's taking revenge on a very bad cat. The cat was awful. The poor goat was just minding his own business. Along comes the cat and just attacks the goat for no reason. So the dog does something right. The dog steps in and punishes the cat because the cat did something wrong. Are you with me here, guys? Yeah. Okay, again, I'm saying we can moralize and go. I'm just presenting to you what the Khatam Sofer and Rogachover said, okay? Because this is a deeper message. So just bear with me here, right? We all agree the goat did nothing wrong. We all agree the cat did something bad. Therefore, by the dog taking revenge, so to speak, on the cat, you could say taking revenge is never a good thing. You shouldn't take revenge, but ultimately, it doesn't do something wrong. It did nothing wrong because the cat was bad. Therefore, when the stick whacks the dog, stick good or bad? Thank you. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Okay. The stick is bad, right? Because the dog did nothing wrong, but the stick hit it. Which means when the fire comes and sets fire to the stick, fire is good or bad?
Good.
Very good, you got it. So therefore when the water puts out the fire is? Right? That means when the ox comes and licks up the water, ox is good or bad?
Good.
Okay, which means when the shochet comes and kills the shochet is good or bad?
Bad.
Excellent. Which means when the angel of death comes and kills the shochet, the angel of death is good or bad?
Good.
Okay, see, I was checking. It's very, very good. That looks really weird. I'm going to delete it. Okay, therefore, when the angel of death comes, the angel of death is saying, right, if you follow the whole pattern through, goat, cat, dog, stick, fire, water, ox, shochet, angel of death, you follow the whole thing through, the whole pattern through, and it's clear by the end that as you finish the whole beautiful story of Chad Gadya, when you get to the end moment, what do you find out? You find out that the angel of death did the good thing, the pattern of retribution, the pattern of revenge, so to speak. The angel of death comes and kills the shochet, and shalom al Yisrael, everything is fine, everything is great, except one little problem. And that problem is that the last moment, the last move, that last move of Chad Gadya is what, guys? Along comes Hashem. Hashem comes along and kills the angel of death. So we're going to ask a question now, and I know that I'm not asking it as an existential. By answering this, I don't expect anyone to say that this is what they believe. But according to the pattern that we have actually just played out now, does Hashem do something good or something bad? Thank you, Jenny. You had the one that said that, right? It would seem to be Hashem is doing something bad. It would seem to be that Hashem is doing something which is wrong. Because if you go through the whole process, Hashem, look and see, the whole way through, the angel of death is the one that's done the last moment, which was the good thing, and leave it like that. Then Hashem comes and kills it. And you can finish the Seder night and say, and there you go, Hashem did something bad. Hashem literally rewarded the good with wickedness. He rewarded the good with the bad deed. And a person could leave Seder night, says the Chassan Sofer, saying, okay, at the end of the day, Hashem does bad things to good people. Or, this is what these great tzaddikim told us, that once you've been through the whole process of Seder night, once you've been through the Ma Nishtana, once you've been through the Avodim Hayinu, once you've been through every aspect of the story of the Exodus, once you've been through Dayenu, and you've eaten the matzah, you're filled with matzah, and you've eaten the maror, and you've eaten the sandwich, and you've had your meal, and you sung Hallel, and you're feeling that connection, you're feeling that closeness, you're feeling that love, you're feeling that oneness, then when you finish the Seder, you get to the point where you say, look, I can look at the world, and it might seem like things are bad, but I have emunah, I have complete and utter trust. I trust you, Hashem. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It might look like it's all out of sync, but I trust you. I believe in you, and I trust you implicitly and completely that you know what you're doing. I don't understand, and only you understand. And then, we have a minhag. We have a beautiful custom. Hasidim, I'm not sure if Sephardim have this custom. Probably they do. The custom is that the Seder night does not finish at Chad Gadya. Because there's a beautiful custom that after we say Chad Gadya, anyone know what we do? We say Shir Hashirim. You finish the Seder, and then you open up Shir Hashirim Asher Shlomo, which is this beautiful love song. It's a love song. Hashem's love for us and our love for Hashem. And if you don't, it might be maybe late for you this year, maybe the Seder's late and it's a bit too much, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's all too much anyway. But if you can, try and read some of the English. After Chad Gadya is finished, go to the back, and it will say most of your Haggadahs have Shir Hashirim, and read some of the English. Mashcheni acharecha narutza. Hashem, I was drawn after you and I ran after you. And Hashem answers, says how much I love you. And it's this beautiful dialogue of love between the Jewish people and Hashem, saying literally how much we love each other. And there's such love, and there's such closeness, and there's such oneness that comes out from the Shir Hashirim that you're brimming over with tears almost as you read this love song. That's how you finish. Because we realize that there's something called Seder. Seder, right? That's what we're having, a Seder. What does Seder mean? Seder. Guys, what does it mean? Seder. Leila Seder, the Seder night. What does Seder actually mean? Very good. Order. It means order. And here we go. What's your name? That was very well. What's your name?
Sorry?
Your name again is?
Noah.
Noah. Noam or Noah?
Noah.
So what Noah is saying is that there's a seder, and here's what I want to kind of really bring home today with you, is that on Pesach, what we're trying to actually do is unlock a deep place within us where we can actually live with the fact that there is something called a seder beyond the seder. That means that there is a order, there is a way things work, which is beyond what we can see with our eyes, that's beyond what we can touch and what we can feel, that's beyond our human intellect. There's a seder which is way beyond that. There is an order which goes way above anything which we can see, taste, touch. There's a seder which we'll never truly understand and comprehend. But what Seder night does for us is we can finish that. We say, and the angel of death was killed by Hashem. Hashem looked like he did something bad. Shir Hashirim Hashem Shlomo. I love you, Hashem, and I trust in you completely, even though it looks so bad. I completely trust in you. People are dying, but I can trust in you. I can still walk forward, knowing that you've always been. And by the way, what have we got? What have we got, Chava? More than anything else, what do we have? We have history. Look at this, 3,000 years. 3,000 years and we're still here. That doesn't give you some sense of emunah, some sense of faith and belief. How can we still be here? Hashem's never left us. We've gone through so many difficult times, so many hard moments. Hashem's never left our side. And this is what I wanted to share with you, because I believe it so strongly. Like I say, a person can go through the whole of Pesach, the whole of Seder, eating the matzah and have all the, do you prefer matzah pizza or do you prefer chocolate matzah? What's your favorite shape of matzah? And let's throw some like plastic frogs to each other, and let's throw ping pong balls to each other, and let's sing finger puppets. And it's very beautiful and lovely, and it's so special that people get involved by doing finger puppets. It's beautiful. I'm not telling you not to have finger puppets. If you want to have finger puppets, have finger puppets. It's great. But the point I'm trying to say to you, Chavra, is you can go through an entire Pesach and you can miss the point entirely. You go through an entire Seder night and miss the point entirely. Because Seder night is about, you get to the end and you can say, I see that Hashem could look like he's doing things in the world that don't make sense. It could even look like bad, but I completely trust in this notion. I believe in Hashem. I trust and I believe in you. And I walk forward with emunah. I walk forward with faithfulness. I walk forward being faithful to you. In all the decisions in life, all the things I'm going to have to choose, all the places I'm going to have to go, I will remain faithful to you, Hashem. I will remain faithful to understanding more. I will remain faithful to growing. I will remain faithful to knowing. Even when it's difficult, even when the world looks like it's pointing fingers and the anti-Semitism is so strong and it's not safe sometimes and we look like we're under attack, but I will always have that faith in you, Hashem, and you always have that faith in me. So this is what I want to share with you today. Chad Gadya is a cute story. It's a beautiful song, Chad Gadya, but it's actually so much deeper. It's teaching us that there is a Seder beyond Seder. There is a way that things work beyond what we can see and imagine. So I invite you all this year on Seder night. And I do this, you're welcome to do it as well. But when the Seder's finished, before you get up out your chair, before you go to bed, before you, whatever, I don't know how it works, so you have to leave and walk somewhere else, just stop for 2 minutes. Stay in your chair and close your eyes, just for 2 minutes at the end of Seder, and just feel that point of connection. Say, Hashem, I trust in you and I believe in you. And if you don't, say, Hashem, I trust that somewhere down inside of me, I do trust in you. This is one of the Hasidic Rebbes, the Rebbe Melekovich said, you have to have emunah that you have emunah. It's a bit of a strange idea, but we have to have emunah that we have emunah, which means that even if you say, I don't know if I believe, and it's hard sometimes, that a Jew has emunah, that deep down they have emunah. So Hashem, you close your eyes, Hashem, please. Let me feel that closeness and that faith in you. Let me see it everywhere in my life. Let me live my way of my world with that faith in you. And let it light up my year. Because they say that Pesach is the Rosh Hashanah for Emunah. So the whole year, you're basically in a petrol station of Emunah on Seder night. So fill up. Doesn't matter how expensive the fuel is, right? We don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You fill up on Seder night with this incredible faith. And like I say, you finish the Seder night, and you say Shir Hashirim, and you feel that love, and you feel that closeness, and it impacts every aspect of your life. You know, there's so many people that come to me with such anxiety, and that's a real thing, and I'm not limiting it, and everyone has reasons, and a lot of people have reasons why they have struggles with Hashem, and I understand that completely, and I'm not here to tell you that it's a simple thing. I'm not telling you it's an easy thing, but I know that some people have these anxious feelings, and we say, Hashem, Gam ke'elech b'geit samaris, lo ira ki atem adi. Even if I go through the valley of the shadow of death, I don't fear because you're with me. I don't fear. A Jew doesn't fear because they're never alone. Think about it a second. A Jew is never alone. You're never ever alone. You're never ever alone. Ata imadi, you're with me. You're with me in the hardest times, in the best times. You're always next to me, Hashem. You're always with me. So close your eyes at the end of Seder night and feel that, and then I promise you, that is what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's what Seder is all about, that feeling, that closeness, and the Chag Emunah. Hashem should bless every single one of us. And that this year we should really see, it should be abundantly clear that it's a night where it's light like day. That's what they say, Laila kiyom ya'ir. It's a night where it's so light that you see everything so clearly. Hashem should bless us. We should all see it clearly, and then we should be safe, and every Jew should be safe throughout the world, and have an incredible Pesach and enjoy every single moment of it. Thank you.